Welcome to my channel, to everyone who's new here, and of course those of you who are back again. Great to have you here. Bitcoin is currently trading at 85,125 US dollar. In this video we will take a look together at possible scenarios for the price development of Bitcoin and Ethereum. Things remain exciting, so make sure to watch until the end. You will also find another video on my channel where I analyze various altcoins daily. That's definitely worth checking out too. And also worth checking out is the crypto exchange mexc. It's rank 8 in the global crypto exchange with the lowest taker fees, 0.01% per trade. Yeah, and in addition to that, you get another 20% discount on those low trading fees with my referral code or link which you can find in the video description. Also 100% zero fees just on mexc. And here you find popular altcoins which you can trade with zero fees on mexc. So, what about Bitcoin? Yeah, we have said here, we broke the rising wedge to the downside, we retested it, and we should actually drop lower. It didn't happen. Yeah, in the end of the day, what I track here is a bear flag. So basically the whole structure to the upside isn't looking bullish to me. It looks corrective, not impulsive. Yeah, I would have seen something like, if we go to render, this is, for example, impulsive, yeah, where we have this pump, a small correction, another pump, another correction, another pump, and probably getting another correction, and then another pump. That is impulsive to me. What we got for Bitcoin, it looks corrective, and it's just a matter of time until we break that to the downside. I would say still, if we break the 85,600 US dollar to the upside, I will make that trend line green. Then I think the chances are very high that we meet the area between 88,000 to up to 98,370 US dollar. If we go into the 4 hours chart, then you can see why the $89,370 are so important. This was actually the breakout of that double top pattern, which we have formed over a month for Bitcoin. So I think that area is going to be resistance. Also, what you can see on the 1 hour chart, those blocks here. Yeah, it looks a bit messy right now, but I hope you see it. We got rejected there quite often. Here also, rejected. We wicked a bit lower than that, higher than that, but also sold off sustainable. So there I would say I have to be careful for Bitcoin, because there I expect a major rejection in this area where I put the circle. But we don't have to get there in one way. Yeah, it can be still that we are going to test the top of that bear flag, sell off, break the bear flag to the downside, and drop before we then get the strength into that area. And that's what I think at the moment. Yeah, the whole structure doesn't look good to me. If we look into Ethereum in a few minutes, then you can see, okay, Ethereum broke out of a bullish pattern, but the whole structure isn't looking that much bullish. Yeah, also not impulsive. So I would still say $83,000 if they break, then Bitcoin is short. But here we have another entry for a short trade, 84,180 US dollar at the moment. But still the bear flag is going upwards. So if we break that to the downside a bit later, then the price also moves. Yeah. So basically it's essential to look into that bear flag and not just wait for the 84,225 in this case. So once we see a break to the downside, then it would be short to me. And in this case, since it's upwards, I don't have to wait for the retest. So if I see a 1 hour candle close lower than the bear flag, then I'm going to enter the trade. Yeah, it might be even possible that we have, in this case, for example, a fair value gap, that we close another fair value gap before we then sell off. But we have to wait for that. Yeah, if we are getting a huge red candle where we have built up a liquidity gap here, then I can wait for the 1 hour candle close and wait for my short trade until we get into that fair value gap to sell off. But if we don't get a fair value gap, then I'm going to use the 1 hour candle close lower than the bear flag for my short entry. And also $85,600 if they break to the upside and we get a nice retest, then it's long to me for Bitcoin. So what about Ethereum? I have said it broke to the upside right here. We got a 1 hour candle close over that. Yeah, we are still in the 50 minutes chart, but we got the breakout right here. 1 hour candle close over it. We even got a retest. And that's not common to me in my view, yeah, because that trend line is pretty sharp in my view. So basically the retest isn't actually positive at those kinds of trend lines. We even got another 1 hour candle close lower than the trend line. And here we got a follow through. So is it looking bullish or bearish to me? I think it's neutral. We have positive and negative signs. The positive sign is we got a follow through. So our candles here closed higher than the candle here. Or let's assume the second candle here. But we also fall lower than the white trend line and close lower than that. So what can I do? Actually nothing. Yeah, this structure isn't looking good to me. Still, it's still long to me. But I actually doubt that we are going for the 1,650 US dollar. This was actually our target if we break the white trend line to the upside. Yeah, but still, I'm going to take profits soon for Ethereum. Maybe because we still have here resistance. And it looks like that we are going over that. Yeah, we tried to wick twice over it. And now we have the third 1 hour candle which tries to close over it. Here you can see on your left that we got support, support, support. Also here support. And here we got the break to the downside with a retest and got even lower than that. So basically, this is what I'm going to look for. If we break the 1,613 to the upside, then it would be positive, and then I would set my stop loss to break even for Ethereum and just let the trade roll and hope for the 1,650 US dollar. I still think the chances are low that we are going to meet that area. It might be even possible that we get here, get rejected, and see lower prices afterwards. Yeah, because my targets are still ongoing. The area between 1,513 US dollar to 1,530 US dollar. That is a take profit area for me for a short trade. And also the 1,467 US dollar, which I think is also going to be a take profit for the short trade. And after that we have to see if we break that to the downside, then this whole thing here could be a rectangle. And then 1,250 US dollar would be our target. So it would be super bearish. So once we get to 1,650 US dollar, I'm trying to look for a trend line where I can open a short trade. Yeah, I'm not assuming that this one is going to be the trend line which I'm going to trade. Yeah, but depending on the structure and if we, for example, get rejected here, bounce on that trend line, then I can say, okay, we have 3 touch points on that trend line, it's valid, and once we break that to the downside, it's short to me. Yeah, but I will still keep that white trend line on my chart to look tomorrow with you together if that trend line was valid or if I have found another one. So, I hope I gave you some valuable information. This update was pretty short, but nothing happened. Yeah, we are still going sidewards, even though we are getting this pump like this. Okay, we also got a correction like this. Okay, we got a pump like this. Okay, we got another correction. Here also. We got the pump and here the correction. So it's basically sidewards. Nothing to say more. And see you in the altcoin update. Yeah, because there we are going to talk about altcoins and one altcoin was an outperformer. So see you then.